Good evening. I'm trying to do my very best Alfred Hitchcock. I know it sucked. Anyway, so I try very hard to kind of mix up the vlog clips, the serious, the fun, the lighthearted, and I do try to stay away from politics on here, at least for now. But sometimes I realize I can't help it. I probably will. But I'm going to stick with that. And I think I'm going to just talk about something fun and light. The 70s and the 80s and what it was like to grow up as a Gen Xer. And I know that several of you on here, a lot of you on here actually are Gen Xers, and so you don't know what I'm talking. You are going to know what I'm talking about. The 70s and the 80s, I don't even know what to say, where to start. And I think I've done a blog post on this as well. It really was kind of almost like a magical time in a lot of ways as compared to now. And don't get me wrong, there were a lot of problems back then as well. But heck, we were children and teenagers back then, and the baby boomers were probably in their late teens to early 20s. And it was just magical, fun. Excuse me. It was the music. It was the culture. It was the TV shows, the movies. It was just heavenly. As compared to now, where it's like, these are some dumb mother. I mean, seriously. And the only thing I would say in terms of, let's say, TVs and movies, is that we have a wider variety across many different platforms, right? We have our Netflix, we have our Apple TV, our Paramount, our Prime Video. We have cable. We have all. We had cable back then too, but it's just you have just more and available platforms to view stuff, right? As opposed to back then. But the quality is so bad, in my opinion. And don't get me started on reality TV. But anyway, it just seems like to me in the 70s and 80s, there was more common sense. And there was a greater sense, between reality and fantasy. Now, with the advent of social media, reality TV, etc., those lines have been blurred to the point where you can manufacture an AI-generated TikTok video and people believe it. And I'm sitting there going, this shit ain't real, y'all. You do realize it ain't real. There was more common sense, as I said before, in terms of, yes, politics, or at the very least, there was more class and decorum. And people were of some semblance of intelligence. And it wasn't like some sort of a reality TV show back then. And speaking of reality TV, it seems to me that our reality TV was wonderful. And it actually did things or I should say, show different things to different people that maybe we had no idea about. Gosh, I'm screwing my words up. But just sort of showcasing things that we never would have thought about, right? And just sort of shining a light on different subjects. Like back then, for example, huge things like, okay, homosexuality, transgender people, because guess what? Transgender people have always been around. Hello. Substance abuse, domestic abuse, etc., etc. And in my opinion, they weren't, shown to be exploitative, to exploit those things whatsoever. They were actually trying to show these are things that go on. Which reminds me, now that I think about it, of course, talk shows were huge back in the 70s and 80s. Can we say the Donahue Show, Phil Donahue? Okay, Sally Jesse Raphael. I'm going to say her name, Oprah Winfrey. I know people think different things about Oprah right now. It was just, different. And I could go on and on and on and on, because I know I'm not even scratching the surface about the 70s and 80s. But I'm just going to end it right here by saying I definitely miss the 70s and 80s, especially the music, because the music of today, horrible.